I got my world turned upside down with this like a year ago. Vincenzo Joseph, two-time national champ for Penn State, was one of our assistant coaches. Got second at the US Open and World Team Trials. Penn State and him have a very different philosophy for their down blocks than I'd ever heard. And instead of thinking about my lead leg hand being my down block hand, I'm thinking about his lead leg hand. Because what does my lead leg indicate for you guys? What's this tell you? Boom. That I'm a lefty. That I'm going to be shooting shots with my left hand. Okay? So Brahman's lined up against me. Coach Brahman, he's got his left leg forward. I know with pretty solid certainty that this is the hand that I mainly need to be concerned about. Okay? So why in the heck would it make sense for me to keep my left hand down blocked in front of my lead leg when I need to be defending that hand? It doesn't. This needs to be taking care of that. Okay? I mirror his lead leg. I mirror it. Okay? Reason being, as a lefty, when he's shooting to a left leg, it's going to be a high crotch. Okay? This down block is not going to stop that high crotch. Okay? When he goes sweep here, this down block is not going to get there to block that sweep. You guys see that? I'm coming cross body. This is never going to stop. Okay? But this down block, when he goes high crotch, I can catch. And when he goes sweep, I can catch. Okay? It disrupts his shot hand and ruins the shot.
So it doesn't matter what your lead is.
Nope.
You just match the lead, you just match the down block.
I match their lead leg. If he switched to righty,
You don't change leads.
no.
He's not teaching you to change leads.
Nope. Nope. My lead leg stays the same. My only thing that changes is what I'm down blocking and thinking about down blocking. So if he leads righty, now my lead leg is my down blocking. Okay, reason being, he's gonna sweep, I hit this out, or if he high sees here, I hit this out. Okay, it's very disruptive. When you mirror the offensive hands, it's very disruptive. Okay, so lefty on lefty, this looks crazy, right? Reaching with my lead hand, right? But when he goes, I know that I can get in the way with this hand. It stays loaded in this pocket, ready to go. Super difficult to get through, okay? Super difficult. Second thing, as far as philosophy, and this is where it's gonna differ from like Iowa. You watch Iowa guys, they got this stiff arm out there, okay? They're like, oh, I've got my lead leg, down block hand ready to go. They're presenting me a down block. I see it, I know I have to beat it now, so I'm gonna find a way around it. For us, I don't want you seeing my down block necessarily. So I keep my hands floating in the same space, okay? Ready for my down block hand to go whenever it needs to go. And I'm catching. Okay, he's crazy fast. Really, really difficult to time, but because I'm patient and conscious of this hand being my down block hand, I know I either need to shoot it here and whip out, or I need to shoot it here and catch sweep. Either way, I'm putting it here, ready to catch that arm.
So this can clear this whole area.
Yes. It's a lot quicker to go here than it is like back and forth with this other hand. This is never gonna get a sweep. This is quicker to it because it's right here. We're shoulder to shoulder, this is quick. This is quick. This, I'm not gonna get there. And this, I'm gonna get blown through because if you could stop a full man with one arm, that's pretty impressive. I'm beating an arm with an arm. Make sense? So the way we drill this is at first, just space, okay? I want you keeping your down block hand floating. My other hand's busy. Doing it from space. Partner's gonna shoot high crotches first. I'm gonna down block, move my leg. I'm gonna down block, move my leg. When I'm doing my down block, I'm finding his arm, I'm meeting the pressure, and I'm circling. Okay? Then we'll go sweeps. We go sweeps, I meet his arm, and I circle. Okay? I meet his arm, and I circle. I meet his arm, and I circle. okay? Constantly down blocking, constantly moving my feet, and then we'll start engaging, but we'll get there when we get there, okay?
You see my effort though?
Yes, he's
I'm
wrestling
putting in
hard.
a lot of effort to take decent shots, move my feet. I'm not doing any stuff like this, falling down on him. You know, I didn't get anything out of that, and he didn't get anything out of that.
Yeah.
So for us both to get better, we both have to put a lot of effort in. We're still working together.
Got it? Let's do it. 1, 2. But I promise when you can get comfortable and continue to develop it, it is so frustrating for your opponent, and it allows you the freedom to get aggressive, knowing that you've got his shot hand taken care of. All it is, I use one of my arms, it's on his shot hand, everything else, I'm gonna worry about getting my offense going. Okay? Make sense? Now, occasionally, you will get beat to a leg, okay? Actually, before I get into that, I want to talk about this stuff. We already did it a little bit, so I don't want to drill it. I'd rather give you guys as much as I can while I'm here. Obviously, off this down block, I catch. I'm looking to get a quick drag here, hip, hip, right, running down the thigh. I'm looking to get my down block. I can punch that same weird fish hand behind the tricep, run down. I can down block, punch up to underhook. Now I'm looking for my underhook offense, right? Tons of opportunities to follow up offense after down block. The biggest things that impact whether or not you can get counter offense is 1, did my feet move to the angle? And 2, did I stay in the fight enough to run it down, okay? If I down block and I have to jump, and this happens and it's okay, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Sometimes you really gotta run out of a position to stop a guy's shot, right? But if I'm running way out, there's no sense in me in running down offense from way out here, okay? I'm looking for counter offense when I'm in tight, I beat him bad, I've got an opportunity to run down a hard angle, okay? Again, if I have to like jump out and get away from him, probably not gonna find our counter offense. I don't wanna see guys diving in from 10 feet away, right?
This is, you gotta understand, there's a change in your mindset too. They shoot on you, so many of us are just pushing the guy away. Okay, you stop him, you push him away, and you let him up. You have to understand this is the, you must score in your mind. You should score here.
Yep.
You have the advantage.
Yep.
If you don't attempt to score, then you're not wrestling all the way.
Yep, exactly. At minimum, I want you guys chasing down ankles, okay? Because that creates other opportunities, gets you in a good habit of threatening, okay? But now, moving on from that, because we already did a little bit of that, when a guy does get past our down block and into our legs, I'm gonna show you kind of our baseline defense, okay? So, I get beat to the shot, okay? He beat my down block. Number one thing I wanna do is think about trying to get my knee to the mat and curling my foot, okay? Because right here, all the weight's on my foot and not on his lock. So when I put my knee on the mat and curl my foot, now the weight's on him, okay, on his shoulder. And I'm feeding him one hip, okay? I'm pinpointing all my pressure onto his shoulder with my one hip, okay? Let me get somebody, I'll grab somebody, I don't want anything on your shoulder.
You're good, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here, I'm curling my foot, feeding him, and putting my knee to the mat, okay? I like a knee on the mat because it creates a solid pivot point and a post that is extremely hard to run through, okay? Now he's fighting my entire femur, quad, hamstring with his one arm, trying to run through this. And I'm on my shoelaces and knee here, okay? So once I'm at this position, I find the head to break his head position, I punch deep in the gut, and I continue to feed him one hip. Once I've slid off, I'll turn my hips into him, about that side, okay? If he's on single leg, same principles. I curl my leg, I'm getting my knee to the mat, and I'm feeding him one hip right here, okay? This is extremely difficult to run through. Anytime you've got a knee planted and his arms got to try to fight through this, it's really hard. The big fight here is thinking about keeping my knee facing him. If he starts to run corner and my knee's not facing him anymore, I'm giving this up, okay? So I have to be able to pivot, keep my knee facing him here. So as he runs corner, I'm pivoting, feeding him the hip, okay? Not allowing him to beat me to the corner. Even if he gets ankle here, I can still fight my knee in to keep him in front of me. I don't want to give up wizard position, okay? So I create a pivot point where my knee stays in front of him and I don't give up that angle. Once I've beaten that, I'll go back to feed my hip, sliding down and away.
You know, his leg's not straight,
Yep,
right? If you straighten it, it's like you're off balance and it's
yep. You guys can go ahead and run
too weak,
forward.
yeah.
Yep. It's easy to run through a guy's leg when they really hard straighten it. I typically get to an angle. Like if you're feeding me a straight leg here, I can plant, run to an angle, I can plant, get up into you, come up. But when I bend knee into the mat here, it's a hard post, I'm dragging my knee in, I'm keeping it facing him, so even when he starts to run corner, it's easy to turn. Once I've stopped that, I'll feed hip again, short drag. Okay? But the two biggest fights here are curling my hamstring with my knee in the mat and keeping my knee facing him. Okay? Because again, when my knee quits facing him, either this way or this way, I'm either getting the middle split or I'm giving up wizard position. I'd rather keep him in front of me on my hips.
So that's a huge coaching point, guys. You see these guys defensively get under single pin like this when they sprawl. I mean, that's too easy. You already gave it to them. This knee position, this. Feel it.
It's hard. It's hard to beat.
Good stuff.
Okay? Playing there, curling our leg, getting it to the mat, playing high crotch, single, both sides.
So you want to start in on the leg.
Yes. So partner, start on your knees. Okay? I'm gonna shoot into each shot. So if you're going, I'm gonna shoot into my shot from my knees. I don't like drilling all the way to a bad shot. Okay? So for partner's sake, I'm on my knees, shoot into my single, boom, we're going. Notice, I tried running in, I tried finding an angle and finishing. I'm giving a good feel. Okay, as partner, I'm making him fight and do this correctly.
You keep that hip turned, but your knees stay straight.
Yes.
Let me see it again.
Knees in, put my hips feeding. This is where all the pressure comes from, is these hips, and I put one on it. If I put two, this relieves pressure and allows him to wrestle here. I could get popped up. When I keep one in, it makes it way heavier, okay? And I use this to slide off, then I can turn my hips and start looking for my scores.
Well, he's not up on my back when he's turned though. That's the thing, because like, I'm thinking they're gonna get cut back
Yeah.
in that position. He's already slid off my back. That makes sense? Yes?
You got it?
Especially for you, like we were in this position the other day. Like, look where he's at.
Curl, hip.
He's sliding off my back. He's not on my back anymore.
If guys try to cut back here, that happens.
You're almost waiting for it.
Yep. So, got it?
So you don't really fully fall and square up to them when you put one hip.
One hip. Squaring up only happens once you've slid all the way off them. Otherwise, I square up and I lose all the pressure I was given. Yep. Yep. Crotch. I'm stuffing head, curling, getting knee to the mat. I'll start sliding off to this angle, especially on the high crotch, okay? I don't want to allow this guy to send me. Okay, I'm not looking for that, so my leg has to stay hard curled here. Sliding off on my shoelaces, knees in the mat to pivot, and then I'll break, shoulder, run down. Got it? So, 1, 2.